because my computer's crashing. So
Oh, okay.
he was my main.
What's this Smurf game you're showing me? Oh,
No, it's not a Smurf. They're
okay.
both similar yellow.
Okay. Uh-huh. So what would you say your strengths and weaknesses are at the moment? Is there something you're looking for?
I'd say I feel like I'm bad at looking for um I'm trying to counter gank more, like just basically read their pathing.
Hmm.
Um, but I don't know. I feel like sometimes I'm just wrong. Like in this game, I remember specifically, I thought that sejuani was gonna gank bot, so I sat in Tribush for a bit, but I backed so I could buy Sunder. But she showed up like right after I backed, so I figured I should have stayed longer because I knew she was coming. At the very least, I had the idea that she was coming, but I
Okay,
didn't
yeah.
like commit to it.
Yeah, there's a pretty simple fix to do that. We're gonna cover it once we run into it. Or is it the same OPGG you played this on, or like you
No,
have
no,
not
no.
played much at all here?
I haven't played much at all.
Okay, okay.
Oh,
So what's your champ pool right now, at the moment?
so my champ pool is Wukong, Lillia, Maokai, Hacker technically, but I haven't played him in a bit.
Yep. Okay, so yeah, the one thing about the champ pool, I really like this. The reason why I like your champ pool being Wukong, Lillia, Maokai is because they all like to go for that level 6 kind of stuff. So we kind of fulfill the same champion identity with these champs, which is really important, and it makes it easier for you to kind of switch between champions. So if you start switching between champion identities, then it becomes harder because you not only have to learn the champion, you also have to learn the new playstyle. These champions share the same identity. Not entirely, but like you get the idea. They kind of like to go for the old plays, play for level 6, level
Yeah.
6, big old
Oh, sorry.
plays.
Since this isn't on stream, should I record this myself, like the
No,
session?
I'm not streaming right now. I'm just recording. I'm gonna
Oh, okay, I see.
send you this recording after. Yep.
I thought you would like get them off the stream or some shit. Okay, that works.
Yep.
Oh, good.
So yeah. So if you do want to start changing your champion pool, you could kind of look for champions inside the same identity. It's gonna make it easier for you to kind of switch between them. So we have, for example, Vi here, Amumu, sejuani, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Hecarim is pretty up there as well. He kind of has the same kind of playstyle as Wukong Lillia. You kind of want to go for the 6, kind of want to just play for the 6 and then move on forward from there.
Yeah, I see.
Okay, so let's talk about the game then. I see my screen, by the way. Am I screen sharing?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
am.
everything's
Good.
good.
Yep. Okay, so right around here, what do you think about this game so far?
Um, I'm thinking bot's gonna get pushed in, uh, early, so I'm just gonna path top and hope for a gank there. Early.
So you're thinking your
Well,
bot
we're
is gonna
also
get
low
pushed
on
in?
AP. Uh, yeah, I'm thinking my bot. No, I'm thinking their bot lane is gonna get pushed in.
Okay. Yeah. So that's kind of the basic idea. So your bot lane is gonna get pushed in. You want to path towards top. So again, like we are kind of leaving pushed a bot lane to get prone to be prone against ganks because they have to be pushed up. Of course, it's easier for the sejuani to come gank them. So when you're
Right.
playing against kind of these ganking jungler, Sejuani loves to gank. She's not doing good going full class. So basically, you want to kind of try to match them. And the way I think about this is against ganking junglers. What I love to do is I want to counter gank them because again, like the ganks are really easy to read. For example, really pushed in wave. What they want to do, they want to gank it. And the thing is, when you the person who counter ganks is always like in a winning position by default because you get you have the surprise effect against ganking junglers. Look for counter ganks. So basically, the idea is what I love to do all the time is you don't usually want to path towards a lane. Or you don't want to leave alone a lane who's automatically getting the push because it leaves them prone to getting ganked. And the other thing is that if you're playing weak jungle, for example, you're playing something like what were you playing? well, I don't know. Maybe lillia is more prone to get invaded. So one thing you have to think about when you're deciding on the first path or the initial clear is that I probably don't want to path towards a lane which has no prio because I might get invaded with the prio or something like that. Count the ganks.
Oh wait, the video's finished processing for high HD. If you care
If
about
I
that,
refresh it,
I think so.
let's see. Yep, awesome. Yep. So again, like the initial thing, we recognize that Botlane's getting push in. Botlane's gonna push. They have a really strong push because again they have 2 ranged. Alistar level 1, that's literally nothing, stuff like that. So what I want to do is I want to be around bot side instead of around top side because I don't want to give them give the sejuani kind of a free opportunity to gank the wave. So for example, when we are thinking about pathing towards top, what was your thought process there? Why did you want to start pathing towards top instead?
Because I mean, I don't know too much about top lane, but I feel like range versus melee usually pushes them in.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah, that's about it, honestly.
Yep, that's really good. So yeah, in general, range versus melee top lane, it's always going to start pushing towards the melee because this guy's going to poke with his range and then it's going to mess up with the minion aggro. That's going to cause a whole push. So yeah, so basically the idea here is that we are pathing to get money instead of to pathing to protect. So that's kind of the difference. So for example, in this kind of situation, yeah, you kind of have to decide whether you want to get more gold or whether you want to deny the enemy jungler gold. So yep, I still agree with this thought process. But again, like what I wanted to think about is okay, do I really want to leave my bot lane to get ganked? Because again, it's most likely going to be way more impactful than you getting killed in the top laner. First of all, there's only one player. The second thing here is that he has actually TP. So even if you do get the kill, the impact is not going to be that large because he can just TP back to the wave and kind of like collect all the resource there. So we kind of have to think about the gold value when deciding between these plays. Bot lane's double the gold, no TP. And the top lane, you basically net 300 gold, but you don't actually get to deny any minions or XP, which is kind of the important thing. So that's why I usually don't like to path towards top laners with TP, especially if my bot lane is bound to get fucked there. But yeah, I do understand the thought process that okay, I want to path towards where I get money instead of pathing to protect. But you have to think about the gold value between these plays. They can just TP back the wave, collect CS and XP. Okay, so about mid lane matchup, again, it's kind of range versus melee. So yep, what you could look for in the mid matchup is that Yone does have ignite, so you have some kill pressure here again. But again, like we kind of want to think about the TP. But yep, again, mid lane matchup, range versus melee. Range always gets the push, kind of thing, especially early game. So again, like what I would look for in this top lane matchup here is you could kind of go for the opportunistic plays. Again, if this guy's getting low, again you have TP. I mean you have ignite here. Pretty good setup with Yone. Again, opportunistic ganks. Opportunistic ganks. A lot of kill pressure. With Yone and ignite. Yeah. So what do you think about the jungle matchup? We kind of talked about it already. You're Wukong into sejuani. What do you want to do?
Like specifically against her, or?
Yep. So I mean, is there something you think about at this stage of the game? When you see that the enemy has a sejuani, do you have a game plan? Kind of processing at this point.
I guess match her ganks if I can, but I don't really have any other ideas. I guess.
Okay. Yep, I mean, kind of what I talked about with the ganking junglers, you want to look for the gank ganks because gank gank is always in a winning position by default because you have the element of surprise. So yeah, for example, in this game, I would probably start patting bot instead to kind of deny this play and maybe look for the gank gang. Really impactful again. The gank gang is the biggest impact play after dives in the early game you can go for. Again, we kind of have to think about the gold value. But yeah, usually bot ganks hold the most gold value. But yeah, let's move on to the game then. So we have blue side. Another thing you can do, by the way, when you have these, you have recognized that okay, we have a really strong bot lane push. When you start bot side, you can actually look to just cut the map and invade with the bot prio. So you always want to kind of utilize the bot prio somehow. And again, like what you can do with this kind of play is if sejuani starts top here, she's just going towards bot. Again, what I talked about, you don't want to path towards a lane with 0 prio because you get invaded, and that's what you want to do as the one who has the prio. And again, like that could be another kind of like a problem solved with the fact that we are kind of leaving the bot lane to be ganked here. You could utilize that prio, stop the gank before it even happens, and kill the sejuani, take her camps.
Okay.
That's something you want to consider with these lanes. Yep. Basic stuff. Actually, do we see that she started blue? At least looks like it. Chase shows early. Bot lane shows kind of late. So we might be actually matching sejuani to the top side. That would be my assumption here. Again, really important. Just always check who leashes. Mid lane is pushing in. So one important thing here towards the first clear. Always when I switch sides, for example, I do these 3 camps, side level 3, I'm looking to go towards my next camps. Always check the lane you are pathing away from. Because again, like if there's an opportunity, you want to see it before you actually end on the opposite side of the map, because then it's like, oh shit, these guys are really low. Maybe I should have gone there. But then again, like it's such a huge path to take away back towards the bot lane. Always check the lane you're pathing away from. So, for example, this transition between raptors to wolves, it's a long transition. You have nothing to do, so this is a good moment to kind of assess the map and think about, okay, what do I want to do? In general, like when you have these kind of states in the game, for example, running out of base, stuff like that, that's the moment when you want to think about, okay, what do I want to do? What do I want to do? Is there something I want to do right now? Stuff like that. What I call the lull states of the game. I think away from
the what state? Sorry.
The lull states, kind of when you have nothing to do.
I see.
Switching side. That's like a good moment to think about. Okay, do I want to do something? In general, like you can think about the game, for example. How will the team fight turn out? What do I want to do in the team fight? Stuff like that. Make sure there's no opportunity in there. Yep. Now we check the top lane. It's pushed up. He's warding. It's gonna be pushed up. Good. We avoid the ward. Really good. In general, this is what I love to do. I love to hop the wall because again, like long laners, they love to do all this kind of like lazy wards. They just want to ward here. So this is really good ward dodge here. I love it. And again, the other good thing is here that when we are looking to gank towards gank a laner, you don't even need to look at the lane. You can just look at the minimap. Like, okay, this has disappeared. They go to this brush. They most likely warded. So again, like that's really good information you gather here. Laners leave from lane for a moment. They usually ward. Nearby. Yep, that's really good. That's something you want to look out for when you think about, okay, where I want to gank. Basically, you want to look at it even after as you start the game. For example, here, just like look at it. Okay, is it disappearing from the lane to the ward again? Like we can then dodge the ward. Really good. Just go for TP. Good, we get a kill. Awesome. Yep, one thing about this gank approach is that always look at where your laner's minions are, because minions actually grant vision, so you don't want to kind of like step into the vision right here. So this guy could have would have seen you a bit later. So when entering lane, consider when going for gank. Out of vision, especially we know that we are not seeing here, so that's something you want to consider. We're going for gank out of vision.
I thought of that, but I was scared that the ward that he put in the river brush would see me.
This ward here?
Yeah.
When you approach this side, no, never.
No. From like if I went down.
Oh, okay.
Or was that not what you're saying?
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, if you go from down, then we could go right now. Yeah. I mean, then the
Okay.
ward is gonna show you. But again, like you want to remain unseen as long as possible until the kind of the gank
Okay.
is there. And again, what I would look for here, I would just you can just kind of wait here for a second, just kind of look here, look on the lane, like kind of like what you want to do is you want to commit or show when they are actually going for CS or something like they're most vulnerable. I don't know how to say the fucking word. Vulnerable. But yeah, they're
Yeah.
the most vulnerable. I'm not gonna say it. When they are hitting their minions.
Okay.
So again, that's what I would be looking for here. For example, I would just sit here, kind of out of vision, see, okay, now this guy's kind of overextended even more, going for the CS, whatever. Then we could go in. I don't even know how to type it. I'm just gonna type it like that. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm going for CS. So that's kind of like they go for a mini overextend, kind of how I think about it. They mini overextend by last hitting minions, especially if they are melee range. That's the moment we want to go in. Yeah. Consider enemy wave. Mirror is mirrored with your own wave. So I want to see where he was at the moment. He actually was running away. So for example, again, like here, he would be kind of overextending more if you just waited for him to go for the CS and then go in. Yep.
Hmm.
Also, one thing about approaching these champions who want to jump on you to get away, for example, Samira, Chase, for example, in melee form, stuff like that. You also want to position yourself in a way that they don't get like a freebie to run away with you. So, for example, Aurelia, Samira, stuff like that. So that's something you want to consider when going for these ganks.
Okay.
So basically, if you got here a bit earlier, you would want to hug this wall instead of being like this, because again, it gives them more less range to get away with the jump and dash.
Okay.
Rest in peace. Yep. Another good habit to go into. You know where the enemy jungler is. They killed you, for example, on the top side. You have all the tempo to the rest of the map here. So again, what I would like to do, I wouldn't just default to the camp option here. I would like to think, okay, if there's a bot lane play available here, I would be looking for it. So that's really important, especially as you start pushing towards master rank and the high diamond. Is you always have to utilize the tempo you have, and the
Okay.
like the easiest way to tell that you have tempo is that when you know enemy jungler is somewhere and you're already base, okay, I can go run all the way here and here, whatever, before he actually gets there.
So instead of going topside, I should have looked for the potential counter gank bot, or
I mean, there's no counter gank bot. When you see, I mean, she kills you here, you're gonna
right.
respawn. She's still top side, so you could have just like a free gank on bottom side. It's not gonna be a counter gank. You always
I
beat
see.
head to this gank. So that's kind of
Okay.
the idea. That's when you see enemy jungler, for immediate options elsewhere. So this is especially important when you die early game, because now again, like there's no way this guy can get here because you respawn so fast and you get home guard and stuff like that. But yep, I mean, obviously
Okay.
there's no play here, and we have 2 trees. We kind of want to get to camps. But yeah, one counter gank you could have looked for is the mid play here, for example. But yep, again, like no big deal. But always when you die again, it's kind of a lull state. Now you can now you can think about, okay, where do you want to go? Where does the enemy jungler want to go? Stuff like that.
Hmm.
So again, now we know that the enemy jungler is pathing towards bot side, and yeah, we are looking for this top gank. What we also need to do is we need to ping this bot lane danger, danger, danger. We know where the enemy jungler is. They don't know where the enemy jungler is. You know,
Okay.
always try to ping where the enemy jungler is. Your laners literally don't know. They just don't know. They are too preoccupied with taking their minions, trading stuff like that. They just don't care about the map, and they don't even understand the tracking part of the part of laning phase. Your laners don't know. you want to help them. Again, to kind of deny ganks and stuff like that. For example, it would be horrendous for sejuani to just go from top, mid, and bot, and getting all these ganks off. Like, we just need to ping that stuff because we know what the enemy jungler wants to do. We know where they are. We know where they want to go. Stuff like that. So yep, he actually goes bot. Does he get a gank off? Yeah. So the easiest way to deny these free ganks from happening, which actually ends this play, I think. The easiest way to deny these free ganks from happening to the enemy jungler is by pinging your teammates and letting them know where the enemy jungler is. Again, we could have kind of deduced that this guy's going to ward this brush because he doesn't disappear for that long time, and maybe we could have dodged the ward or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Also, another thing, when you go out of base, you have 3 camps up here. What you want to do is you want to start with the crump or the blue. You don't want to start with the raptors or wolves because when you start wolves and you have these all these camps up, you're kind of dooming yourself to go for this top layer, like because if you clear these 3 camps, because obviously you're going to clear all these 3 camps, then you have to run all the way, kind of do like a zigzag pathing back towards your next camp. So if there's no option there, it's easier for you to transition from clearing the blue and crump to the bot side than starting from wolves. That's kind of the base default. So out of base, if you have no option, you have no plan, just default to the crump or crux. Usually the buff. If the buff is up, I always love to just start with the buff. Default to crump or crux. Buff is up. Buff if up. To avoid zigzag pathing. And kind of like, again, it's more efficient and leaves us with more options. That's what we want as junglers. We want the most options available as possible.
Okay.
So again, like you can see, we have the raptors up here, but we're all the way here because that's just how we decided to clear our camp. So again, like we are kind of doomed to be on the top side here. We don't have a easy transition back to our camps. Yep. So now we do exactly that. We have to kind of zigzag, and again, like this leaves us to not being able to hit camps for like 20 seconds. Again, really important here. Obviously, enemy jungler, he's dead. Again, we have all the freedom on the map. On the top side, on the mid side, again, like we have the tempo, and that's how we know because this guy is either on the bot side or he's in base, stuff like that. So again, like every time the enemy jungler dies or you get information on them, just always seek for the immediate action elsewhere because there's no way for them to counter. It doesn't matter if this guy's 1000 LP, there's no way he's going to be able to counter these plays you make on the top or mid here. So again, like really important, always look for the immediate action elsewhere when you know where the enemy jungler is.
Okay.
So you can see something I want to talk about is bot wave. So this is really important. When you see a wave being crashed, especially on the side lanes, what's it always cause? Crashed wave always causes slow push towards opposite direction. So this is a good this is a really good indication for you to think about, okay, again, like the way you want to gank or the moment you want to gank is when the wave is all the way here and the enemy is kind of overextending. They have to kind of be deep into the lane to hit the minion. So again, like this is something you want to recognize all the time. The wave crash, what it's going to mean, okay, it's going to start slow pushing back, and then that means you have a gank window on that lane. This is really important stuff. Crash wave always causes slow push towards opposite direction. Maybe we can look for ganks. And one another thing you could do, you could just go and wait into the brush here and just kind of wait for the gank to happen because it's gonna happen. So this is what I'm gonna talk about the gank situation you also asked about. It's always about the wave, so we can actually see that later on as well.
Mm-hmm.
So yep, now could be a good moment to look towards the bot gank here. You can see how the wave is pushing here. We actually peep the lane. We do it here. Oh, it's so fast. I'm not gonna bother. But the way is that always when you crash a wave, it's gonna start slow pushing out, like automatically. That's just how the waves work in this game. So
Mm-hmm.
that's something you want to look out for. So here again, as we talked about the approach to gank with the top side, we dodge the ward. Again, like when we don't know where the wards are, we always still want to kind of dodge the possibility of a ward. So basically by approaching from this side, instead of going for the lane brush, we kind of expose ourselves to all these wards in the brushes here.
Okay.
But yep, now you can see the wave is here. Now it's really gankable, so this is really good that we are here. But that's something you want to start recognizing. Okay, when that opportunity is gonna show us, show into the game, and that's again by looking at the wave, and okay, it's crashed. That means in 30 seconds or 1 minute from now, this lane is going to look like this. So this is the moment. Okay. So there's not actually an issue here. So this is the moment you were talking about?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah. So the way I think about it, again, like waves all the way here, you lane should actually kind of be safe here. This is not a moment when I would worry about slow pushing or the gank opportunity here, because this doesn't really look gankable for the sejuani. So basically the idea I think about bot ganks and bot plays in general, you want to be bot when wave is pushing out, and you have freedom to be elsewhere when wave is pushing in or in, like inside your team. But like the one thing you want to consider here is that if they have a strong dive, for example, here they kind of do, but not yet, since they have no Alistar 6 and Sejuani 6. Then you kind of want to be bot when the wave is crashing, because if they have a lease or something like that, they're probably going to go for the dive. But yeah, like this I wouldn't be too worried about this, because your team just happens to like kind of go into the pressure and just get caught. Like there's no point for your team to do this. I wouldn't really worry about this.
Okay.
But yep, now we can pad top, pad bot to kind of deny the dive. Yep, good. Nothing happens. Okay. Yep, enemy bot had recall. Again, we would have the tempo by pushing in this wave. Then we could look to, again, utilize the prior of your bot lane, for example, to get this Drake. That's what we do. Again, really good. What you always want to do, you want to utilize the bot prior. You don't kind of want to go for these Drakes kind of solo or without anyone being able to help you. Because again, what this does for you, again, what we talked about, you have freedom to be elsewhere when the wave is pushing in. So again, this creates a roam timer for your lanes, and it creates roam timer kind of for yourself as well. So this is really good. This is what we want to do. We want to utilize the bot prior. Yep, free track for us. Good stuff. Alistar shows top. Okay. I'm really too scared of this guy getting dope. What I want to think about at this moment is I want to hit level 6. You can see we are kind of 2 camps of level 6. That's what I want to do always, especially when playing these ult heavy junglers. But in general, close to 6. You don't want to go out looking for plays. You want to look out for this level 6. Close to 6. Prioritize hitting 6. This is really important when you're playing these junglers. But even if you're playing something like Elise, a Nidalee, whatever, the level 6 power spike is still exists. Kind of think about it how for example, you always have to get level 3 because you get your abilities. The same way you always want to get level 6 because, again, you unlock your ult. Really important. Okay, it's actually here. He doesn't see us. Awesome. We could go a bit more aggro here, I think. Are you afraid of the Akshan?
Yeah.
I guess we are. Okay. Yep, actually, yeah, we see him roaming top. But again, like the important thing here is that we actually don't know this guy's health bar. So always when you go for these plays and kind of wonder, like, is someone able to help me? Always like check out this guy's health bar, because he actually starts recalling here. I assume he's going to be pretty low in health. So you could actually kind of go aggro here, again, if we had the information. So it doesn't really matter if this guy has prior in the mid lane, this Akshan, if he's so low that he actually cannot do anything. So that's what we call non-actionable prior. There's actionable prior and there's non-actionable prior. And non-actionable prior happens when the laner has no resource to come help you. For example, this is really common with Ryze laners. For example, you have a mid Ryze, he has like really strong prior, and you're like, okay, let's go, I can fight this revive, but he actually has no mana. So that kind of stuff you want to look out for. So prior. When laner has prior, it can't act due to low resource. HP, mana, whatever. But yeah, something you want to check before we go for this river plays. Okay, enemy laner has prior, but is it actually actionable? That's really important. So yep, we end up giving it up. Kind of the same thing we had with the Tonkench here. He's kind of low HP. He's not really, he doesn't really want to come help us, you know.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's what I'm always think about. Yep, he gets it. Yep, this is really good. Again, we know the enemy jungler is here. There's no way he can counter us to display. Really good. So this is what we call tempo and utilizing tempo. Awesome. Yep, good execution. So you'll see. Yep, awesome. Yep, but now again, we used our move. We had a play here. We did it. Now again, I want to look for camps usually. Yep, good stuff. Okay, then we can play. We don't have ult again. Really ult oriented jungler, Wukong. I really don't want to look for 3v3s or kind of 2v2s unless you have a really clear advantage when I don't have ult. So again, like kind of what you want to do on Wukong, play around the ult. With maokai lillia as well, you want to play around the ult. Yep, we're kind of hovering here, denying the gank opportunity. Good stuff. Also, one thing about the level 6 timer when we are playing these ult heavy junglers, I'm going to type some timers here. So, Sorolanes, he's level 6 at 6 minutes. This is pretty flat. This is all the time it happens. Sorolanes gets 6 at level 6 at 6 minutes. So, for example, if you have something like Shentop, Kartus mid, or whatever, like or GP, you can utilize that level 6 they get at 6 minutes to go for these aggressive plays. This is really important when you have global ult or really long range ult champions. For example, you have Xerath mid or TF mid. You can look for that level 6 minute timer. Okay, this guy's gonna hit 6. Maybe we can look for something in the bot lane. Junglers hit 6 around 7 to 8 minutes. And the important thing here is that bot lane is actually hit 6 at 8 to 9 minutes. So you can see that here we already have like a kind of a timer when the bot lane doesn't have ult and we have ult. So when we are playing these ult heavy junglers, this is a moment when you could look for the bot play or the bot ult opportunity because they actually don't have ult and you have ult. Obviously, it's going to be pretty easy for us to win the fight. So this is especially important when we are playing these ult heavy junglers. In general, ult heavy jungler, don't want to look for fair number of fights without ult. So this is especially important. You can go for the 2v1s and 3v2s, but usually I don't want to look out for the 3v3s or the 2v2s without ult. So you can like play around your ult timer. So, for example, here we can see the wave crash in the bot lane. We have these two camps. Ult is coming up soon. RP looking forward to hitting these camps, waiting for this push to come active and wait for my lanes to come back, and then we could look for the ult play on the bottom side. Again, huge value bot play, 600 gold, a lot of denial, backtrack the wave and stuff like that. Yep, so it's on the wave. Also, general rule for holding waves like this, I usually don't want to go if there's like less than a minion wave. So if it's like 3 casters, kind of like 2 casters, I don't even bot there. Because again, I was thinking about, okay, I want to go bot, I want to use my ult. And we're kind of getting bulked out here by doing this, and we don't actually gain that much or deny anything. Just get the few minions. But it's really important to look out for just holding your waves. But again, like I usually don't do that unless it's a hard wave, so with cannon, or if it's just a complete wave. Usually don't want to hold wave for less than 6 minions. And again, what this does, it gives kind of the information on the enemy team, kind of like a small advantage. Okay, Wukong's kind of chunked out. He's heading towards the bot side. Actually, he doesn't see that we are heading towards the bot side. But yeah, kind of like we are kind of giving free pressure, or like enemy team kind of like freedom on the map. Because again, like the jungler is supposed to be that huge question mark. Where is he? Where is he? Is he going to gank us? Stuff like that, you know? So again, like every time you show, just think about it. Okay, do I actually want to show here? We see sejuani top. Good. So now we could look for the bot play here. Because again, like we are not in a position to deny this dive. If so, Twitch is all alone there. Maybe we could look for the dive. Invade, whatever. Stuff. Yep. Awesome. Again, we are going for this place because we know the enemy jungler isn't there to kind of stop us and deny us. Really good. So now sejuani is actually coming back here. Looking for the bot play, maybe looking for the Drake. Again, this is really good. We are kind of waiting for the bot lane to get this prior before we go on the Drake. This is really good. Again, like, just utilize the bot prior or try to ensure that it happens. And we do that by hovering here. Good. Yep, kind of poking out. There's no shot. We kill them there. And good, we didn't use our ult because, again, we want to save for the team fight. Awesome. Yep, really good. Yep, pushing this wave, but then we can go for the Drake. Awesome. Perfect. Okay, so yeah, now we're actually losing the map because Chase decided to roam down. Our top lane is still top. Yep, now we can do the trade. Good, we recognize that. Let's go back to farming camps. One thing here, probably we want to recall for Divine here actually. Yep, good. Again, like a really good general idea is to always recall on the item power spike, especially when we go Divine on Wukong. Is so fucking important. Always look to recall as soon as possible for the item power spike. So this is just a general rule. If you see that, okay, I have gold enough to get my divine, just get back to the map. Again, another reason to recall here, we are kind of low on HP. So yeah, again, like when we have more HP, when we have more items, obviously it's gonna help us to impact the map better. Stuff like that. Yep. It was spotting about the Drake. Good. Botlane is actually dead. A lot of missing pings. Akshan gets the roam off. And again, we kind of lose the prior here. Unfortunate. Chase is coming down as well. Yep. So what we could do here, what we could look for here, is again, like we know where the enemy jungler is. Again, we could think about, okay, what does he want to do? All these players are dead. Chase is coming down. They probably want to do this Drake. So general rule for League is that every time we have to give something up, for example, this Drake here, we kind of give up the Drake here because we actually can't contest it. Every time we have to give up something, you want to get something in return. So we want to trade. You want to look to get something in return. For example, here we could start running towards a herald, whatever, stuff like that. Always just look for the option. Because again, like we don't want to give up stuff. At least if we have to give up stuff, always think about, okay, can I get something in return? For example, herald, top camp, stuff like that. Usually the last thing we want to do is just like default back to our camps and kind of like match this guy back to top side and stuff like that. Again, wouldn't really worry about holding the wave unless someone is pushing it. And again, like the soft wave, not really important. Yep, yone is dead. We can't really contest this. So again, we could look for the top option here. So basically what we do now by kind of creating for these camps and not trading anything, what happens now is that we kind of have to match the sejuani to the top side, and then we actually have to fight for it. So for example, this is especially important if you are behind in the game. You don't want to go for the fair fights. You always want to go for the unfair fights. You don't want to contest, you want to trade. There's also another general philosophy for League. General philosophy, when ahead, you want to match and deny. Match and deny. And when behind, you want to avoid and trade. So again, like the reason why I want to do this is because we don't actually win the 5v5. We don't win the fair fight, so we want to create unfair fights, and that happens by going where the enemy jungler isn't. But yeah, this game is pretty even. We can look for the 5v5. We are pretty strong here. So yeah, see, we are thinking about this herald now. So let's see how we arrive here. Yep, we see top lane on the map. If this top laner didn't actually show, I would be scared of him just coming down here. Because again, like he has shoved the wave, he has created himself a roam timer. He doesn't kind of have to be there, but he chose to hit the turret here. So yep, good. We are kind of cutting away from the combo by Alistar. Yep. And now we actually have to recognize we don't want to go too deep because again, this guy goes missing and we don't know his health bar because we didn't check. So again, like it's really important that you check if these guys are actually able to come back here and rotate, come back here and kind of fight you.
Okay.
So always when your enemy has prio, you want to ensure that they have actionable prio and non-actionable prio. So again, like the non-actionable prio, they are too low to come here and help you, stuff like that. So it's not always true that, oh, I cannot make this play because I have no prio, because again, like there's unactionable prio in the game if they're too low. Yep. Here camps, action shows bot. Looking for the herald. People here, Tamgen is coming. Sejuani's here. So basically what we do with this kind of pathing here, like we see the Tamken is finding the or the chase here. So basically what you want to do, you want to decide, okay, which right just run away and kind of like give this guy up, or if I want to go up here and help this guy fight the chase. The general rule for fighting is that what you always want to do, you want to hit the target the team is already hitting. So basically, you don't want to kind of like go for insane dives when your team isn't able to hit. And again, like it kind of applies to this situation as well, because by patting away and kind of like giving this sejuani the freedom to go here, the Tamken is getting 1v2'd. So that's something you want to consider. Tamken actually gets away, good. We have to give it up. Again, yep. Now's a good time. Maybe we can look for bot option here, stuff like that. Nice, good W. Awesome flash. We get caught out anyway. Unfortunate. Maybe our team can clean this up. Okay, so yeah, again, the biggest thing here is that again, we know what enemy jungler is. We get this insane information that okay, he's on the herald here. So again, like he has really short time to kind of rotate to his mid fight. So again, like when we are behind or if we are behind, you kind of want to go for the bot option. Again, like we don't see anyone here, but again, like even if there's no one there, we can just look at the wave and we can predict if someone is going to be there. For example, the wave is pushing in, someone wants to hit the turret, stuff like that. So you always want to kind of think about waves, because one thing is certain with laners, kind of laner behavior 101. They always want to hit the wave, they always want to push in the wave. This is like always holds true. They always want to push the wave and hit the wave. That's kind of this is what they always do. So for example, if there was no one here, Israel wasn't here, there's like someone, the wave's pushing in, you could actually kind of anticipate that, okay, someone's going to show here to push the wave, because that's what laners love to do always. Yep. Go this play. Also, one thing we could do here before pulling the trigger, again, we see two people here. I guess we are kind of trying to save the Lux from getting picked here, but again, like we are kind of going the 2v4 situation here. Again, like our team is not able to hit the target, so again, like fighting 1-on-1, we want to hit the target our team is hitting. His team is hitting. So again, like our team is actually not able to do anything here. They're all around the map. They're just only rotating now, and it's already a 4v2 situation. But yeah, we kind of get to buy enough time with our flash and with the W, stuff like that. Really good. Yep, so now our team's actually here, so now it's more of a winning situation. So let's see the timers here. So you have 1 minute to Baron, 2 minutes to Drake. Again, what I want to do at this point, again, I just want to hit my camps. I just want to get level 11 and wait for my ult. So it's really important to play around the ult and play around the objective timers in this mid game to late game situations. Yep, we can hold in the wave. Push the wave. Yep, really good. Yeah, team really needs to recall here before want to go for the Drake, because again, they have fun on team fight, they're kind of strong, they got all the gold, they want to spend the gold. So yep. Let's look at the recall. The one major mistake here is that we are not thinking about the Baron at all. Actually, the neither of the teams is thinking about the Baron at all. But again, like when you are moving towards the master rank, for example, people start going for the 20-minute Drake. Absolutely. When they start seeing people like this, they can just pull the trigger on the Baron and go for the Baron. Yep. So that's something you never want to ignore. You never want to ignore the or the 20-minute Baron. So at least what you want to do when you want to go for these Drake players and kind of like trade sides, just at least have a ward here so they don't get to sneak it or just like rush it. I think gets picked up in the mid lane. Yep, good. We push wave. We don't. So what I like to do here, especially when we are thinking about objectives, the reason why the mid push is so important is because this minion wave, when you push it out, it's gonna give you so much pressure and like freedom to do on the map. Because again, like the minions give vision, that's really important. And the other thing is that mid wave is a wave which always gets pushed. So when you push in this wave, you at least get the information on the one person pushing it back in. So that's the reason why mid push is so important. For example, if you watch pro play, for example, at 20-minute round, they just keep pushing in the mid wave, pushing the mid wave, stuff like that. Round objectives late game, or I don't know if this is called late game. It's kind of like the Baron spawn, what I like to call late game, because that's usually the time when the game starts to end. I would say late game, mid push is really important. It grants vision and freedom. So one of the reasons why I want to have the mid push is because, again, like the vision we grant here, the enemy team cannot just like walk through the minion wave. They always want to hit the minion wave. So we actually deny entrance to objectives from the mid side by having this mid push here. Yep, we just kind of want to solo the Drake. Again, we have good vision. Without all this vision, I wouldn't go for this at all. Again, really risky. We might get collapsed here. Enemy team might get Baron, stuff like that. But yep, we have really good vision here. So at this moment, I would just prioritize getting out. The reason why I don't want to die for this Drake, in general, pretty much ever, is because if we die here, it's going to give the enemy team a really big window to do the Baron. So this is like a really important thing. Just don't kind of int or what you don't want to do. You don't want kind of like if the enemy team is taking it, the Baron's up. You don't want to hop around the wall and kind of going for that Hail Mary steal. You don't want to do that. Just be really careful. Be really careful. Dying at Drake when Baron is up. Just prioritize your own life over the Dragon kind of thing. Because again, like the enemy team is gonna have such a big window to do the Baron if you die here. Because again, you're the smite, you're the jungle, right? So I would assume they actually go for the Baron here instantly. They don't. That's amazing. So actually get to respawn and come back to the Drake. Well, again, this wouldn't really happen at high levels of diamond play, stuff like that. This is really utilize that death window you gave them. So really important. Don't go and click for the Drake, especially when Baron is up. Okay, Ezreal is collapsing. Okay, maybe we can look for fight here. Yep, he just gets caught out. Awesome. Oh, they actually did deck the Baron. Oh, okay. Then they started fighting you after. So that's another mistake. You don't want to be this guy. You take Baron and then you start like diving people instead of going for the 5v5. You just got a shit ton of gold here. You just want to get out, spend your gold, come back stronger, stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, this kind of stems around us dying at the dragon fight. We just don't want to do that, especially when Baron's up. It's such an important objective. Yep, now we just kind of want to wait for the Baron to go out. Let's see. Yep, we got a pick, really good. We just delay the push here. Yep, we don't want to go deeper because again, like your team doesn't understand. It's like it's just a pick. We are not ready to team fight here. We just use Wukong ult as there's 3 people here, 2 people out the base. So again, like just danger ping, danger ping, danger ping. We just want to pick. Now we want to get out. Yeah, we don't want to go there either. It's too late for us to do anything. Yep. Yep, and again, this kind of comes back to when we are ahead, we want to trade something, when we have to give this up, because again, like there's no way you will ever be able to hold this push. There's 4 people pushing into your melee champion Wukong. This is no way you want to do this. So what you could do instead is just push out the top wave, kind of like just concede this. So that's really important that you must understand that, okay, when we have to concede something, I want to at least benefit somehow. Benefit somehow. Again, could be pushing the top lane here. There's no way we are stopping this push. Could be getting gold from top wave. There's no way we are stopping this push. Maybe with a range character, for example, Xerath, stuff like that, maybe you can do this, but again, like we melee champion. If you want to touch the wave, you just really have to get personal, and then we're gonna die because it's 4 people again here. So again, enemy team does a fucking insane grief mistake. Again, they kind of stay on the map after winning a fight, and they just kind of look for the second team fight after they already got a lot of gold in the pocket. So again, like something we learn from the enemy team. When you kill people like this, the enemies are dead and kind of on cooldown. You always want to you want to stay on the map. You want to push your advantage, kind of like get anything you want. But the very last moment you want to recall is when the enemy team is coming out of base, because again, like you granted them a base, they have used their gold. You have a lot of gold in pocket. They're going to be actually stronger than you, at least compared to the last team fight. So again, something we can learn from the enemy team. Let's see, we are really close to ult here. Maybe we can look for fight. Yep, really good. Really nice flash. Really nice patience with your flash. I love that. This is really good team fighting, actually. I love how patient you are with flash. Really good. Let's see. Do we win this game or is this a loss?
No, this is a loss.
Okay. What's the trade situation at this moment? It's 2-1. So yeah, again, like we go back to the 20-minute trade. It's just like don't go for it. I wouldn't even go for it if it's the soul, because again, like the barons is so much more important. Even if you're like thinking about, okay, I want to deny the soul, I want to get the soul out. If they start collapsing, you just get out. That's the most important thing here. Internally, you just don't want to get picked at all when the baron is up. But yeah, again, we are not really able to fight this. We are looking, okay. Yep. Okay. He wants to go in. Really good. We get a pick. Okay, now we kind of want to regroup. Again, wait for your team to be able to hit the targets you are diving onto. That's really important in these team fights. For example, you don't want to be this Alistar. You see this Alistar gets like this mad knockup, and it's like, oh shit, where's my team? The team is nowhere near. They're all the way in Narnia. So you don't want to be this. You don't want to be this Alistar. Because again, this is what's gonna happen to you if you were to do that. Yep. And same with this chase. Like Jesus Christ. Yep. Again, like this is really good because again, we are engaging when our team's already hitting the target, always able to hit the target. So this is really good. I like this. We do end up dying, but it's whatever. Yep. So we actually, yeah, really good team fighting there. Enemy team kind of briefed it, but that's again the mistakes you want to avoid yourself in the future games. Look at the trade. What's the 16 seconds to Baron? Yep, again, the really important thing here is the mid push. I was just ping my team off this bot wave here. The bot wave does literally nothing for us. The Baron's coming up. I don't care about the bot wave. Just fight this mid wave again. It denies access to the objective, stuff like that. Again, we don't want to go in because again, we look at our team. Are they able to hit me even if I get a mad five man ult? No. Yep, good. Yep, we got a pick again. Good. Really patient with the ult. Okay, but at least don't forget to use a second ult. I like that you are patient with the ult, but don't be that patient. Nice, we get the... Wow, this is super good. I don't know why this yone is still on the bot side of the map. Awesome. Really good. Actually, now we are turning the game back around. Okay, this is going to be an interesting game. Again, what I want to do when I get these kills, enemy team is dead. Really important. Okay, I want to transfer this lead and the map pressure we have to something. So again, like get the most gold as possible. This time we just decided to go for the camps, but again, like we could have looked for the invade option here or something like that. Yep, and again, the really important thing here is that the least moment you want to recall is when the enemy team is coming out of base, because again, like we want to spend the gold before we fight them again. Really good stuff here, really important to keep in mind. After A, so a successful team fights. Always get back to map. I'm gonna put this at least the moment the enemy is coming out of base, because again, like they have spent your gold, they have spent their gold. You want to spend the gold you gain from killing them. Really important. Yep, good. So again, now we are all back on the map. Another thing you can consider in these moments when you get Baron, so pretty important thing. For example, here, what we want to do after getting Baron, we kind of want to match the recall with our team, so kind of sync recall. So again, like what it does for us is that, for example, here when we recall later, we actually do recall at the same time as Ezreal. But like for example, this is Ezreal recalled right after Baron, and he's already on the way here, like pushing up the wave, wave, ready to go, and you're all the way here in base. So that's you kind of don't want to stack your team. But in this specific scenario, it's right to take some camps off because again, our team still needs recall. They haven't recalled, and again, we want to spend the gold. So yep, really good. Okay, they're kind of looking for a trap here. You probably got seen on that pink when we arrived here. Yep, we definitely got seen on the in the pink here, in the pixel
There's a
brush.
pink.
Yep, that's pink.
Oh wow.
Yep. Okay. Again, the mid push really important. Just get the mid push. Yep, Akshay knows what's up. Awesome. Ooh, what was that damage? Jesus Christ. Was it Ezra or you? Oh, it's just... Oh, and it's 500 for the Q. Yep. Really good. Again, now we don't have ult. Maybe we can look to force this mid lane here. But yeah, one thing to be really careful of. We
These
don't
next
have
few minutes
ult.
are kind of embarrassing.
Oh, what is?
These next few minutes.
Oh, okay. Okay, let's see. Oh yeah. Again, like the thing I talked about a lot of the time here is that I don't want to go hit the target. My team is able to hit, so then we start to arrive in situations like this. Again, like our team is all the way in mid here, so you have to just kind of stick with your team. Stick with your team with Baron especially, and kind of these late game scenarios. But the one important thing here is that the way you utilize Baron is to have at least 2 pushing waves. I'm gonna explain it to you in a bit. But yeah. So what I always want to do is I want to have at least 2 pushing waves. Yep, you actually end up fighting towards the next ult as well. Okay. Chase is actually ended the game. Wait, does he actually end the game?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Jesus Christ. He was actually unchecked for a long time. I wasn't expecting that. Oh my god. Yeah, I guess your teams just kind of refused to recall here after we died. Yep, in general, it's just like, get the inhib. There's no way we ended the game again. Like, I guess we wanted to look to end the game with our ult, but like the rest of our team doesn't have ult. Yone doesn't have ult, Ezreal doesn't have ult, Lux doesn't have ult, but yeah. Yeah, so someone has to go and stop this guy, actually, yeah. Yep. Okay, so I'm gonna talk to you a bit about the way you want to use Baron, especially. Minimap, League of Legends. My Windows button doesn't work. Interesting. So, yeah, the reason why I want to always have 2 pushing waves when arriving into these scenarios is that so the way I think about it is that when you're pushing this mid wave, for example, like this, you have Baron. It's really easy for the enemy team to just like 5-man stack here and kill the wave and deny you the push. So that's why you don't want to do that. The way you approach Baron fights is you always want to have at least 2 pushing waves. So what this does is that when your team starts hitting this turret here, because the enemy team is all the way here, they start rotating, they start walking around here, kind of like going to defend it. So again, like this creates a moment when we can kind of free hit this turret here. And the other thing is they can get caught in the rotation. And again, like they are rotating, they're actually not hitting turrets. So obviously there's like time when you get to free hit the turret. And basically, and then the push keeps going on forward. They start hitting this tier 2 here, for example. Then again, they're like, oh shit, now we have to go back. And again, they start rotating. So the way you use Baron buff is you always want to have 2 pushing waves. So that means that the enemy team cannot just like 5-man stay on a lane. Because if they do, and they do deny you this push here, at least you are getting some value out of this top lane push here. But always what ends up happening is people start kind of rotating between, they get caught in rotation, stuff like that. And you just get to generate moments where you can free the turret. So that's really important for Baron sieging, is that basically the idea you think about it is that you just want to create scenarios where your team gets to free hit turrets. That's how you siege in League. It's not about like forcing down the turrets and like diving behind them. It just doesn't work. It's just so conflict. Where your team is able to free hit turrets done by having at least 2 pushed wave. Because again, like if it's 1v1 at the top side, for example, there's no way There's a guy here who can stop the Baron push with all the Baron minions. Like it's just like it's just so unrealistic stuff, right?
Hmm.
These two push. Wait, what did it say? Done by having at least. Jesus Christ, at least 2 pushed or pushing waves. Enemies start to rotate between, get caught, not able to hit minions, stuff like that. But yeah, do you have any questions about this game? Still, anything you want to ask?
Not really.
Okay, so yeah, I mean the main things here is that we kind of want to think about the options at the start of the game. For example, we know what the enemy jungle is. Um, always kind of always look for immediate options elsewhere, ganks, invade, stuff like that. And one other thing is that we want to utilize the bot push almost every time. So again, we did that a few times by going for example on the drakes, and then again like this specific moment in the in kind of the later stage of the game. What was it? Just be really careful about dying around the Baron spawn. Again, I would really like never just give my life for the dragon here. It's gonna be around here. Yeah, I would just never give my life for the dragon. If they do end up coming, just like give it up. Again, I want to be alive for the Baron. That's the kind of the game winning objective. Always just think about the Baron. Baron is so fucking important. But yeah, that's pretty much all of the session for today. And yeah, I'm gonna send you these notes right now, and I'm gonna upload this for to YouTube. And yeah, you want to watch it back a few times. Like, again, it's a shit ton of information. It's like 1 hour. It's just like boom, 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 boom. So to make sure something actually sticks, just like watch it back a few times.